Now, your primetime local news leader. Fox 22 News at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, an update on a hit-and-run investigation in Brewer. On Saturday, Brewer police were called to Eastern Avenue after a vehicle struck 87-year-old Ira Williams before speeding off. Williams was seriously injured, and tonight, the man suspected of hitting him is in custody. Our Devin Dagnall has the latest.
Wednesday afternoon, Brewer PD arrested the man who they believe was responsible for that crash. This exclusive footage, obtained by Fox 22 News, shows officers arresting 51-year-old David McKenzie of Holden after executing a search warrant at his home. Police found a vehicle matching the descriptions previously released with heavy damage to its front passenger side. McKenzie faces 2 felony charges, one for leaving the scene of a personal injury accident and another for aggravated assault. Wednesday, we spoke with Williams' grandson, who stressed the urgency and importance of finding the man who injured his grandfather.
It's an urgency because if this happened to my grandfather while he was safe on the sidewalk, could this happen to someone else in the community?
The investigation is still ongoing, and we'll keep you updated as we learn more. Back to you.
In other news tonight, Governor Janet Mills signed a bill into law Wednesday to expand abortion access in the state. The landmark bill will allow abortions in the later stages of pregnancy if deemed necessary by a licensed physician. Governor Mills says she originally introduced the bill after learning of the story of Dana Pierce, a Maine woman who traveled to Colorado to get an abortion. Pierce, members of the Maine Council of Churches, representatives from the Maine Medical Association, and others were all present during the signing.
We are affirming that Maine people, guided by their medical professionals, their families, their personal and spiritual beliefs, that they will make decisions about their reproductive health care. They will do so, and not politicians.
In a statement, Maine GOP Chairman Joel Stetkes said in part, quote, "This is a sad day for Maine. We desperately need to end the unchecked absolute power of one-party Democrat rule in Augusta." The previous state law banned abortions after a fetus becomes viable outside of the womb, roughly 24 weeks, but allowed exceptions if the patient's life was at risk. Under the new law, abortions will be allowed at any time if deemed necessary by a doctor. A new law in Maine aims to better protect victims of domestic violence after their abusers are released from jail. Owen Kingsley spoke with a South Portland woman about her experience and the protections she wishes she had.
Jennifer Greensmith is a survivor of domestic violence. She says her abuser was released from prison early, and her only notice was a late-night phone call. She believes that this new law will save lives.
I'm going to have you go sit on one of the green chairs, and we'll get you right in.
Jennifer Greensmith now has a happy and healthy family in South Portland and runs her own business. But in 2017, she says she was in a violent relationship.
And it was so quick, until it turned into actually, strangling me on numerous occasions. One that I was actually told I was probably seconds from dying.
Greensmith says her abuser was sentenced to 9 months, but just 5 months into his sentence, she got a call around midnight saying he was being released early.
It was really unfortunate to hear at midnight when I had no idea where he was.
Before he was sentenced, Greensmith said she had a protection order against him, and her abuser had to be electronically monitored by police.
The Portland police were on high alert around my house at all times.
But she says he was not monitored when released.
You just think that, that person's going to be able to get you at any point.
Maine's new law is designed to help people like Greensmith, notifying victims ahead of time when their abuser is released early.
Prior to this LD being passed, the jails would notify, they could notify even after the person had been released, and they could do it through the mail.
The law also requires more factors be considered when releasing a convicted criminal who may pose a risk to the community.
You need to look at that criminal history. You should be in touch with the district attorney's office. And most importantly, you should be in communication with the victim of that crime.
In other news, Maine farmers came together in Albion on Wednesday to speak out against the proposed transmission corridor. Our David Ledford brings us the latest.
It really feels harsh. It's an attack.
Dairy farmers and agricultural producers throughout Albion, Palermo, and China, Maine gathered to voice their concerns about LS Power Grid's proposed transmission corridor. The Missouri company's plan would involve more than 100 miles of high-voltage transmission line, intended to aid Maine in the development of renewable energy as part of the Aroostook Renewable Gateway project. However, the proposed pathways for the lines would go through farmland in several communities, and farmers say they are concerned that the corridor would affect their livelihoods.
Both of those options literally run right straight through two of our fields. There's already a few nails in the coffin of the dairy industry and mostly the farming in this area, and I think this is just another nail in that coffin.
Farmers say they first learned about the corridor after receiving letters from LS Power Grid earlier this summer.
These people have not slept. They've been under duress. We've all come together to really try to figure out what to do.
Albion is home to 10 active dairy farms, with another 4 in Palermo and China. Farmers say that dairy farms and milk processing contribute $904 million in direct benefit and $1 billion in indirect benefit to Maine's economy annually.
Regardless of how much power we're going to consume, we all have to eat, so we can't affect our agriculture.
To learn more about the proposed project, visit lspgridmaine.com. In Albion, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The Somerset County Grand Jury has indicted 2 people involved in a car crash that killed 1 child and injured several others. Police say 30-year-old Robert Simons was heading west on Route 148 in Madison back in October when the vehicle he was driving left the roadway and hit a tree. 3 children and 28-year-old Ashley Corson were also inside the vehicle. Simons, Corson, and 1 child suffered non-life-threatening injuries in the crash. One of the children suffered a severe life-threatening head injury. The 3rd child was pronounced dead at the scene. Simons and Corson were both indicted on charges of manslaughter, aggravated assault, criminal OUI, and endangering the welfare of a child. 2 people, meanwhile, have been arrested on drug charges after Bangor police responded to reports of a family fight. Officers responded to Essex Street at about 11 o'clock Monday morning. They were told that a suspect had left in a vehicle. Officers then spotted that vehicle in the downtown Bangor area before stopping it in Brewer. Police identified the driver as 29-year-old Sarah Crawford of Brewer. She was charged with unlawful possession of drugs. 41-year-old Jesus Manuel Burgos of the Bronx, New York, was a passenger in the vehicle. He gave police several fake names. Bangor Police Sergeant Jason McCambley says Burgos had a substantial amount of illegal drugs, cash, and other items in his possession. He's been charged with aggravated drug trafficking and criminal mischief for the damage at the scene of the family fight call on Essex Street. Surrey residents voted to put a moratorium on cannabis businesses in the town. More than 70 people attended the town meeting to vote on that matter. Our Doug Banks spoke to a town official to see what happens next.
Dating back to 2016, when the state of Maine voted for the legalization of recreational cannabis, its implementation in Surrey has been filled with trial and error. Since legalization, there have been several moratoriums put in place, prohibiting dispensaries from setting up shop in town. Now the town has enacted a new 180-day moratorium in order for town officials to understand residents' thoughts and develop a plan. Select Board member Chris Stark says, one cannabis business in Blue Hill has shown interest in establishing a facility in Surrey, but now they'll have to wait a little bit longer.
When you bring in a business, any type of business, how it affects the town is something that you have to get a lot of feedback from everybody.
One Surrey resident who attended the town meeting and voted against the moratorium believes that another moratorium is a circumstance of a fight against cannabis.
There's some strong feelings for and against, and that's in transition like everything else. You know, everything's been in transition since cannabis was legalized in 2016, so we're all learning along the way.
According to Stark, once an ordinance is developed during the moratorium, it will be on the November 7th ballot for a final vote by all Surrey residents. In Surrey, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And looking outdoors now, things finally cooling off after a very warm day. What's coming up in the next few hours? Let's take a look with our first forecast.
All right, Peter, thank you. Your first weather is brought to you by Webb's RV. Check out the summer specials on RVs and campers. Don't forget, we have the sharpest pencil in town, and we have the best temperatures in town. 84 here in Bangor today, 83 Millinocket, 79 for Bar Harbor. We'll take it. Tomorrow is going to be slightly warmer, and there is most likely not the chance for rain in the forecast for tomorrow. I know, it's been a while, right? Out there today, though, still some clouds across our region. The clouds will get out of here tonight. Now, tomorrow, we have mostly clear skies overnight tonight and mostly sunny skies tomorrow, followed by what could be a couple sprinkles across the area tomorrow night. Most of us will stay dry until then, though. These clouds are on their way out of here. See you later. Behind it, we have a nice night and a nice day on the way for tomorrow. Our forecast then tonight, though, is mostly clear skies, low temperatures in the 60s. Your full forecast is coming up. Peter?
Alrighty, Jeff, thank you. And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, a food pantry in Bar Harbor is getting festive this month in an effort to stock their shelves. And the Deer Isle Stonington Historical Society looks back at the life of a beloved late community member. We'll have those stories and more local news when we come right back.
During Renewal by Andersen's 4th of July sale, get incredible savings on the most trusted family of window and patio door brands in America. Call for your free window diagnosis and begin your Renewal by Andersen signature service experience. A unique start-to-finish home improvement solution, skillfully guided by Renewal by Andersen professionals. Our 4th of July sale is going on right now, but it won't last. Act now, because these incredible 4th of July savings on our exclusive composite fabrics material windows end soon. Renewal by Andersen, the better way to a better window.
We won last year. We won this year. Now you win too. It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 6. Lease an Ioniq 5 for $299 a month with a total $7,500 EV lease bonus, or get up to $5,000 bonus cash. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
Wherever you are, whether you're ready or not, it's coming. With a purpose, with persistence, with the power to change the way you live. So you don't have to change the way you live. Generac automatic standby generators. Control your power, control your life. Visit Generac.com.
Welcome to Rebecca's. For over 30 years, we've been serving our local customers in downtown Bangor, and we invite you to explore our historic shop.
Rebecca's carries many Maine-made products from local artisans. Perhaps you need a gift basket for your next celebration. We'll be glad to help. From blueberry ceramic dishes, gourmet foods featuring Stonewall Kitchen, fine wines to antique dishes and furniture. You're sure to find that perfect gift.
We hope to see you soon at Rebecca's.
What's it going to take to stop this U.S. team?
You play rougher.
Play nicer, eh?
With precision. Play with passion. Good luck with that.
Hello, I'm Emma Smith, and coming up on Good Morning Maine, we'll have views from the Thomas Hill Standpipe, as Wednesday was one of the few days out of the year that it's open. Plus, Governor Janet Mills signed new legislation to protect reproductive rights in Maine. And it's Christmas in July in Bar Harbor. We'll have these stories and more coming up.
Welcome back. An environmental group in Maine says it's time to get more zero-emission cars on the road. Asia Reed spoke with that group about how they're trying to accomplish that goal, and an electric vehicle owner on why they made the switch.
Leslie McGee and her family are visiting Maine all the way from Nova Scotia, taking their electric car for its very first road trip.
We decided to go this way. We had been driving conventional vehicles, obviously, but after doing some research and working on a renewable energy project, we decided that when we got a new vehicle, this would be the way that we would go.
McGee says her family made the switch from a gas car to this electric vehicle this past year. Climate and Clean Energy Coordinator for the Natural Resources Council of Maine, Josh Caldwell, says EVs help cut down on carbon emissions.
The transportation sector contributes to about 50% of Maine's carbon emissions, by far the most of
of any sector, and carbon emissions contribute to climate change.
Under Maine's current climate action plan, Caldwell says by 2030, the state wants to have 219,000 electric vehicles on the road. Right now, we have around 9,500. That's why his organization is putting forward 2 proposals to the Department of Environmental Protection. The proposals are known as the Advanced Clean Cars 2 and Advanced Clean Truck Rules. Caldwell believes these rules are the most efficient way to reach this climate goal. They would ensure Mainers have access to more EV models and would require sales thresholds of electric cars starting in 2027. Some, like the Maine Transportation Association, are not in favor of the clean truck rule and says, quote, our grid doesn't have the capability. We would have to have more than double generation, and our charging infrastructures is not ready for zero emissions vehicles. McGee says she will never go back to gas cars.
Just not using gas. I'm just super happy not to use gas.
And Mainers will get a chance to weigh in on those 2 proposed rules at a public hearing in August. Meanwhile, Northeast Harbor's Astaku Inn officially has a new owner. The 139-year-old inn was bought by Tim Harrington for roughly $7 million. The 3 cottages and 3 buildings that are on the property were also included in that sale. The original inn first opened in 1884 but burned down in 1900. It was rebuilt the following year. The Stonington Historical Society is celebrating the long life of a beloved late resident. Centenarian Salome Sellers was 108 years old when she passed away in 1909. She was the oldest woman in Maine at the time of her death.
Salome's life. She had a long life. She spanned 2 centuries, 1800 on, and so that's 1908.
Her house, which her husband hand-built for her as a wedding gift, is now home to the Historical Society and Museum. Sellers was an early member of the Daughters of the American Revolution and was also known for teaching Maine women about government and world affairs. A docent from the Daughters of the American Revolution will visit the museum tomorrow at 1 p.m. to educate others and share more about Sellers' life. For more information, you can visit the Deer Isle Stonington Historical Society's website. That's dishistoricalsociety.org. Well, Christmas may be more than 5 months away at this point, but in the meantime, Bar Harbor Food Pantry is getting in the holiday spirit in an effort to stock up their shelves during a month-long event. Our Matthew Juroncic has the story.
There's no presents under the tree or stockings above the fireplace yet, but Bar Harbor Food Pantry is looking to bring a little Christmas cheer, hosting its first ever Christmas in July event.
It's a food and fun drive that we've been holding now all month and raising money for the Bar Harbor Food Pantry.
The goal, to receive enough bags of food to fill all 760 seats of the Criterion Theater. The food pantry also is looking for cash donations. Any donations collected will be matched by the Witham Family Hotels Charitable Foundation up to $20,000. They are on their way to their goal with less than $3,000 to go. Reeves says he's touched by all the support he's received in the Bar Harbor community.
It's hard to put into words the love and support that we feel from our community.
The wave of support comes on the heels of the food pantry's past 2 busiest months, doubling the amount of individuals needing food assistance.
We've had over 1,350 customer visits in the last 2 months. To put that in perspective, that is 1/3 of what we saw all of last year.
The food pantry has managed this influx, making sure those who walk out the door know that they have enough to fill their stomachs.
We're feeding folks, but beyond that, hopefully we're letting folks know that they're taken care of in this community.
Even those using the food pantry felt some Christmas spirit in the air.
So I think it's exciting that we're capturing some of that festivity and giving spirit even in July and getting people to come and bring and donate food and money and support the food pantry.
Christmas in July is not over yet. Anyone interested in donating food can do so either at the food pantry or the back of the YWCA during operating hours. You can also buy seats online, visiting Bar Harbor Food Pantry's website. In Bar Harbor, Matthew Juroncic, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
And coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, Israel's president addresses U.S. Congress about the current state of affairs between both countries. We'll have details. And some lawmakers want to force the government to release its info on UFOs to the public. And they could use an annual defense authorization bill to get it done. We'll have those stories and more as Fox 22 News at 10 continues.
We're lucky to live in Maine. We have a wealth of natural resources, hardworking people, and time for the things that matter. Mechanical Services is all about Maine, with energy efficiency that protects our environment and helps businesses grow. Preventive maintenance and energy solutions that save money. How Maine is that? Mechanical Services. We're everywhere you are in Maine.
Loyalty Inc. has recently renovated their shop. Loyalty Inc. takes pride in having a clean, sterile, spacious environment with a relaxed and friendly atmosphere. A tattoo is a statement of who you are. Loyalty Inc. will help you express your personality and style as custom design is their expertise. They feature great ink and quality artwork at affordable prices. Loyalty Inc. Our colors never fade.
Wherever you go, wherever you stay, all you need is one key. Earn and use rewards across Expedia, Hotels.com, and Vrbo.
If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, contact the law offices of Joe Bornstein to learn about your legal rights. Maine has the highest rate of mesothelioma fatalities in the U.S. You may be eligible to receive compensation if you were exposed to asbestos products while working in a shipyard, mill, factory, or construction site. For a free case evaluation, dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Israel's president, in a historic address to Congress, said there is a, quote, unbreakable bond between Israel and the U.S. This as tensions have escalated recently over proposed plans to change the nation's judicial system. Fox's Trey Yingst has the latest.
Thank you, dear members of Congress, for your support of Israel throughout history and at this critical moment in time.
For the second time in history, the President of the State of Israel addressed the U.S. Congress. Israeli President Isaac Herzog, whose post is largely symbolic, used his remarks to not only mark Israel's celebration of its 75th year, but to address recent tensions over Israeli policies and proposed changes to the country's judicial system.
Although we are working through sour issues, just like you, I know our democracy is strong and resilient. Israel has democracy in its DNA.
Herzog's remarks, which numerous times received congressional applause, come as demonstrations in Israel have intensified in recent weeks. Tuesday, Congress voted overwhelmingly in support of Israel. In the meantime, President Biden, who recently criticized Israel's government, calling it the most extreme in decades, extended an official invite to Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, suggesting the two meet in the U.S. in an effort to ease tensions.
When it comes to our relationship with Israel, the U.S. relationship with Israel, at the core is democratic values.
This after a handful of progressive Democrats boycotted Herzog's speech, protesting the country's treatment of Palestinians.
I think it's a conversation that we need to have as a country.
On Twitter, Netanyahu praised Herzog's address, calling it an important speech for its strong position against Iran. In Jerusalem, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
Meanwhile, there are still more questions than answers after a U.S. Army private crossed into North Korea on Tuesday. Fox's Greg Palcott has the latest.
As officials work to assess the diplomatic fallout, more eyewitnesses are describing the moment when Army Private Travis King crossed the border into North Korea. King was on a tour of the DMZ, despite being ordered back to the States for disciplinary reasons. Members of his tour group say he was quiet, kept to himself, and didn't say much. He was wearing a black T-shirt and jeans. Nobody even knew he was a service member. And when he sprinted across the border, the tourists and soldiers were taken by surprise.
At first I thought, like, what is going on? This must be some kind of joke. And then he didn't stop, and then at about that time, one of the American soldiers shouted, "Get him," and the American and South Korean soldiers chased after him.
King was stationed in South Korea but spent the past 2 months behind bars after fighting with locals and damaging a police car. Eyewitnesses say it's not clear if his crossing was politically motivated or an attempt to avoid more disciplinary action.
North Korea is a more closed country than we know, but I think he wasn't aware of that. He must have crossed the border not knowing exactly what North Korea is like.
He's now reportedly in North Korean custody, but Pyongyang isn't communicating with the U.S. The White House now reaching out through diplomatic channels, trying to determine if King's action was a mistake or a defection.
The administration has and will continue to actively work to ensure his safety and the return of Private King.
The incident came just hours after South Korea and the U.S. kicked off a series of meetings aimed at countering the North Korean nuclear threat. In London, Greg Poncott, Fox News.
Ukrainian soldiers held a memorial service to honor a U.S. Special Forces soldier killed in the eastern city of Bakhmut. Retired U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Nicholas Maymer died 2 months ago while fighting for Ukraine. He was killed in a building that collapsed while under heavy artillery fire. Soldiers who knew him say he decided to join Ukraine's fight against Russia because he felt a calling to help.
Nick was a professional military man. He has a distinguished career, and he was retired. He had moved on to his civilian life. He came to Ukraine because there was a big problem here. There was a big moral problem here, and he wanted to be a part of the solution.
It took weeks to retrieve Maymer's remains as Russia is now in control of Bakhmut. The city continues to see intense fighting, with Ukrainian forces alleging they've made advances from the north and south. Military experts say Bakhmut has no real strategic value. Instead, it's become a symbol of Ukrainian resistance. Congress could pass an amendment requiring the government to disclose what it knows about UFOs. This time it's backed by a big name in the Senate who wants to attach it to the nation's defense spending. Fox's Lauren Blanchard has more from Washington.
We may not be alone, and Congress wants more information on what's out there. Once a fringe idea, now backed by high-ranking Senate Leader Chuck Schumer. He and Senator Mike Rounds are hoping to pass an amendment to the 2024 NDAA, or the National Defense Bill, that would create more transparency around UAPs, or Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena, the formal government name for UFOs.
Sunlight is the best disinfectant. And there are lots of theories floating around about what has happened with UAPs.
Bipartisanly backed, the UAP Disclosure Act would require the National Archives to gather government records on UAPs and disclose what's in them, or justify why the documents need to remain classified.
It'll be very helpful for the American people to see exactly what's there, because otherwise there are all sorts of rumors flying around.
Even the White House admits UFOs are having an impact on America's fighter pilots and their training.
They're not sure what they are, and it can have an impact on their ability to perfect their skills.
Some pilots want to make it easier and less professionally risky to disclose UAP sightings.
There's objects that are flying around that are behaving in ways that we don't understand how they perform. They're performing with characteristics that are faster and more maneuverable.
The GOP-led House Oversight Committee will hold a hearing with witnesses next week on UAPs. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
There's new information about the man accused of killing several sex workers along a Long Island beach. The investigation now growing into other parts of the country. Fox's Nate Foy now with the latest.
Investigations surrounding suspected Long Island serial killer Rex Heuermann are expanding as authorities use DNA evidence to possibly solve other cold cases.
So I feel like everyone's just kind of like on edge right now. I don't know. I want more information.
In Chester County, South Carolina, authorities seized Huerman's Chevy Avalanche pickup truck from his property.
The Avalanche in South Carolina was the Avalanche that the defendant owned at or around the time of the commission of the 3 murders.
A witness identified the truck, which led task force members to identify Huerman as a suspect early last year. The 59-year-old also owns property in Las Vegas, where the police department tells Fox News, quote, "We are aware of Rex Huerman's connection to Las Vegas. We are currently reviewing our unsolved cases to see if he has any involvement." Investigators collected evidence at Huerman's home for a 6th consecutive day and at a nearby storage unit, a 25-minute drive from Gilgo Beach, where authorities found the 3 women he's charged with murdering. In 2010 and 2011, authorities discovered 11 bodies miles apart on Long Island's South Shore, including 9 women, an unidentified Asian man, and a toddler. An attorney representing 2 of those victims' families tells Fox they have renewed hope for justice.
There's a reasonable belief that he could be the killer of the others, but nobody's sure. At least we're not, anyway.
In Massapequa Park, New York, Nate Foy, Fox News.
And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, a local business has been making jewelry for several years now out of centuries-old copper sourced directly from the former dome of the Bangor Public Library. And in sports, Brian Scalabrine visits the area this week to help the next generation of Maine Hoopers improve their game. We'll be right back.
Saturdays, baseball's best are showing out. Swing and a drive! Fox Saturday Baseball all season long.
Not all states have a tax-free weekend. That doesn't seem right. So come into Jordan's and get 15% off everything right now, or get up to 60 months no interest. Experience the difference at Jordan's.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more. I know it's up for me. And bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on select popular Chevy models when you finance with GM Financial. Visit your Maine Chevy dealer.
Who has the best kept secret in Penobscot County?
We do!
Welcome to Maple Lane Farms, a 5th-generation family farm that's committed to providing you with the best quality products. Our farm-raised local and sustainable meat is flash frozen to lock in the freshness and natural flavors. Experience the top-notch quality of our meat that's naturally raised without any antibiotics or hormones. Get the best of both worlds, quality and affordability. Try Maple Lane Farms today, the candy store for the carnivore.
The Lucerne Inn and Ryan's Pub is world-renowned for beautiful dining with a delicious view, featuring award-winning dishes from their executive chef, Arturo Montes. It's a true destination dining experience. Relax and unwind in an intimate space with your loved ones, family, and friends. We are pet-friendly, so your furry friends are always welcome to join you at your table on the deck, whether it's a special occasion or any occasion. The Lucerne Inn is the perfect choice for your business or family gathering.
Places, everyone, places.
I'm coming.
Me.
I can't see anything.
All right, it's season 10. Here we go.
The Masked Singer premieres September 27th on Fox.
Welcome back. Hollywood actors and writers on strike have most of Hollywood shut down, although SAG-AFTRA granted waivers to some independent productions to continue. We look at this and hear from a few of the latest stars lending their support on the picket lines in this update with Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
It's now almost a week into the SAG-AFTRA strike, and members are showing up coast to coast at picket lines to lend support and star power.
We're at a real inflection point. I think this industry, a lot has changed, and a lot of the ways they take care of the people who make the stuff that powers this industry has not kept up with the way the industry has changed.
I'm out here fighting so that working class members of these guilds can continue to be members of this profession, make a living at it, and be able to provide for their families.
Solidarity automatically makes you feel better in numbers. I hope it makes a difference in negotiations. I think right now the WGA, the contract that was rejected and the SAG contract that was rejected, that's public for everyone to see, and people see how alarming it is.
The SAG-AFTRA and WGA double strike has caused Hollywood productions to halt. The president of Film LA says when it comes to filming on location in Los Angeles, the last time production levels were this low, we were in the middle of a global pandemic. SAG-AFTRA has given waivers to some independent productions. The list of projects signed to the interim agreement so far includes Mother Mary with Anne Hathaway and Michaela Cole, Death of a Unicorn with Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega, and the Rebel Wilson comedy Brideheart. The actors went on strike July 14th, while writers have been striking since May 2nd. Among issues at the center of negotiations for both unions is residual pay in streaming and the use of artificial intelligence. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Meanwhile, Tropical Storm Calvin is bringing strong winds and heavy rain as it moves away from the Aloha State. Fox's Eben Brown with details.
More than 1 million people are under a state of emergency in Hawaii. This as the center of Tropical Storm Calvin makes its way south of the Big Island. A tropical storm warning is in effect, with Calvin unleashing dangerous surf, damaging winds, and heavy rain.
There will be flooding. There will be probably some mudslides, which we always get on Big Island.
This is the first tropical alert issued for Hawaii since July of 2020 with Hurricane Douglas. It prompted alerts as it grazed the state to the north. Communities have been spending the last few days getting ready for potential flooding with sandbags.
Our parks guys and our public works guys started clearing out the different viaducts and things like that, so make sure that things aren't backed up.
Calvin had peak sustained winds of 45 miles an hour with higher gusts on Wednesday morning as it headed west at about 20 miles an hour. Calvin is forecast to dump 4 to 8 inches of rain along parts of the Big Island of Hawaii through Thursday, with isolated spots reaching 10 inches.
We're looking at tropical storm force strength coming into parts of the Big Island, so that could mean some down power lines or down trees.
The Hawaii Islands are not typically the target for Pacific hurricanes. The last one was the Kohala cyclone of 1871. In Miami, Eben Brown, Fox News.
And when we come back, we'll have details in our full 5-day forecast. Stay tuned.
Well, look at us. High temperatures pretty much back in the 80s today, and we'll do it tomorrow without any rain. I haven't said that for a while. Details on that when I come back.
Some things are worth waiting for. Something reliable, something loyal, something long-lasting. A 6-year warranty? Coyote's got that. One machine for all the dirty work? Count on Coyote. Coyote won't break your heart, and Whittemore & Sons got the deals that won't break the bank. So quit swiping and settling for less. Slide into Whittemore & Sons and be treated like family by a family who cares. 257 Waterville Road, Skowhegan.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Santa Fe with America's best warranty.
Lease an all-wheel drive Santa Fe for $269 a month or get 0% APR or $1,000 bonus cash. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Bucksport, is sponsored by Bucksport Regional Health Center. Has what your family needs for good health, medical, dental, behavioral health, and more. 2 locations, Bucksport and Portland. Seaboard Federal Credit Union, with locations in Bucksport, Ellsworth, and Herman. Seaboard FCU is the smart place for your money. And University of Maine Early College, tuition-free online courses for high school students. umaine.edu/early college.
It's an out-of-this-world celebrity competition.
Oh, God.
Stars on Mars, Mondays at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Here we go. Your full weather is brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studio in Penobscot Plaza in Bangor. And we are talking about who would like a day tomorrow with temperatures in the 80s, lots of sunshine, lots of hands going up, right? That's our day tomorrow before we get some more weather in here, likely tomorrow night and, of course, on Friday. But look what we did today. 84 here in Bangor, 83 Millinocket, 79 for Bar Harbor. This is great, right? Temperatures, average highs are near 80. Most of us did that today, and tomorrow is going to be slightly warmer, a bit less windy, and a bit more humid across our region. So get ready. It's going to feel like summer around here, right? Speaking of summer, a really hot summer across the south and the west for sure. A huge heat dome there is a big narrative right across the world nationally too for us. But that is going to stay there. There's no signs of this moving our way anytime soon, as we'll keep temperatures kind of where they're supposed to be around here into the weekend and beyond. Right now the wind is out of the east and west, kind of around 5 miles per hour. This will actually go calm for several hours tonight, and you know what that means. That means our favorite dense fog across our area once again. So if you're driving 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m., you'll likely find some dense fog across our region. Get your low beams on. They'll help you through the dense fog out there later on tonight. All right, so today's satellite picture shows a little bit of cloud cover. There were a couple sprinkles earlier, a quick downpour or two. That has now left the area behind it. The skies are going to clear tonight, and the trick is going to be to keep any cloud cover over here out of the area tomorrow. I know all of you are hoping for that. It looks like it's going to happen. We'll call it mostly clear skies tonight, partly cloudy skies for us tomorrow, and there is a slight chance for a couple of quick thunder showers later tomorrow, but overall, most of us will stay dry tomorrow. Let's walk you through it. Here we are tonight, no worries at all. Here we are tomorrow. Now watch what happens 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Dry at 10:30. There could be a couple pop-up showers in here. Again, most of us will stay dry. Overall, a nice day with lots of sunshine, temperatures in the 80s. That's going to push out of here tomorrow night, and overall tomorrow night looks good too. Before we have increasing clouds on Friday, here's Friday morning, lots of clouds around, and those clouds will begin to rain on us Friday night into Saturday. It could be once again some locally heavy rainfall getting in here into the weekend, but overall it will not be as heavy as it's been across our region with this one, especially late Friday into Saturday. So our forecast ends tonight though is looking at partly cloudy skies or mostly clear skies. Some dense fog is likely. Look for low temperatures down near 61 and a northwest breeze around 5. For tomorrow, all right, partly cloudy. Again, there could be a rogue afternoon sprinkle. Most of us will stay dry. Look for high temperatures back up in the mid-80s tomorrow. It's going to feel good with a southwest breeze around 5. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows a very nice day tomorrow. Friday, we have some clouds and rain back in the forecast. Rain cool at 76. A bit warmer for Saturday, 82. 83 Sunday. And look at next Monday. Let's focus on that one, right? 85 under mostly sunny skies. Peter?
All righty, Jeff, thanks so much. And sports is coming up next with Ryan Sudol. Stay with us.
Make your waterfront even more fun and more functional than it already is with a Shoremaster premium dock system from Hammond Lumber Company. Hammond is the country's largest stocking Shoremaster dealer, with standing docks, rolling docks, floating docks, and boat lifts for any watercraft. Shoremaster's nearly limitless customization options make it easy to create the perfect dock system for your needs. Take your shoreline to the next level with Shoremaster from Hammond Lumber Company.
Our phones keep us constantly connected.
Please switch to airplane mode.
But what if they had a mode to help us actually connect? Introducing Us Mode, a mode that makes our phones less distracting, so we can focus on quality time. So the notifications we get are the ones that matter. So we're never distracted from what's most important. Visit US Cellular in-store or online to set up Us Mode for free, even if you're not a customer. US Cellular, built for us.
America, come along with our adventure seekers and discover summer with Ford. Join friends Maisa and Leslie on an epic adventure with the capability of the Ford Bronco Sport. Head out with the Stevens family and stay connected with built-in Wi-Fi in the Ford Explorer.
Did you know that horses sleep standing up?
Road trip with the Sanchez family and available hands-free highway driving in the Ford F-150. And now get 2.9% APR financing for 60 months on select Ford vehicles. This is your time to discover summer at your local Ford dealer.
Approximately 50,000 kids, like Brooke, receive care at Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center each year. You can help them by supporting the Summer Classic for Maine Kids. This new tournament will help all kids receiving care at Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center by raising funds to ensure that pediatric care is available today, tomorrow, and in the years ahead. Every dollar raised helps kids get back to the business of being kids. For more information about the event and how to donate, please visit northernlight.org/4kids.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Herman Motor Company. Whether you're looking for a new vehicle or to have your current vehicle serviced or detailed, Herman Motor Company has it all.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. Over in VZ and Ellsworth this week, a former NBA champion was working with the next generation of Maine Hoopers. Our Tyler Cruz caught up with the White Mamba, Brian Scalabrine, about his camps.
This is my version of paying it forward.
Over the past few days, kids from all over the area got to learn from an NBA champion.
You know, am I going to be able to touch 100 kids today and make them all into NBA players? No. But I can help them with messages in their life and what it takes.
Brian Scalabrine, or the White Mamba, who won a title with the Celtics back in 2008, held camps with Results Basketball in Ellsworth and VZ this past week. His way of giving back.
I was a little kid at one time. I had great coaches. Because of those great coaches, I'm in the position right now where I'm very fortunate. Like the 11 years in the NBA, the voice of the Celtics, all those things happen not because I'm just a really good guy. Like I've had great coaches that taught me and helped me learn.
Scal wasn't just in town for the younger kids, though.
But also there's that Cooper Flag, element to it. And not just him. There's other kids on Maine United that I'm trying to help out.
And even with two former Division I basketball players on the bench, there's still a lot the Maine United guys are taking from Scal.
He's such a good coach. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. And it's awesome because our coaching staff is really good, but it's also good to hear from other guys, especially Scal.
Yeah, it's definitely different to have Scal in here. He's an intense guy. He knows a lot about the game. And so just to have him kind of, shed some knowledge on us, it's been a cool week.
The professional point of view and just having been around it for so long and seeing what it takes, he really just knows what it takes to be a pro and become a pro.
But whether you're a future pro or just someone looking to get a little bit better, the message from the Mamba remains the same. If you work, your results will be there.
The same work that I had to put in, you have to put in, and the boss at the company and whatever, right? Everyone has to work. It's the same message going forward. Work hard, love what you do, have fun, be passionate. You do that over and over again, you'll get really good.
From VZ, I'm Tyler Cruz, ABC 7, Fox 22 Sports.
Thank you very much, Tyler. Okay, now let's hit the links. Final round of the Maine Women's Amateur Championship was Wednesday. Erin Holmes out of Valhalla beginning the day with an 8-shot lead. Back to Brunswick Golf Club we go. Two-time defending champ Ruby Haylock draining a short par putt on 11 here to stay in the hunt. Staying on 11. Check out this approach from Shivani Shmulin, putting it just inches away from the cup where she would tap in for birdie. Then on 13, Shivani again. Long birdie putt. She'll drain it, making a run on the back 9. On 13 again, Erin Holmes, your leader. A tough putt to save par. Huge shot for Erin. Then on 17, this is Jade Haylock. Birdied 15, and now another birdie on the way. This one from way downtown, but the day belonging to Erin Holmes. Check out her approach on 18. Great shot to get to the green in regulation. She would end up tapping in for par for the win and her first ever Maine Amateur Women's title. Okay, now let's look at that leaderboard. Of course, Erin Holmes finishing first with a score of -1. Shivani Shmulin, second place, +4. Jade and Ruby Haylock, third and fourth at 6 and 7 over par. And Kristen Kanegeiser in fifth place at 15 over par.
It was definitely a grind. I was a lot less accurate off the tee, so I had to play a lot of things safer. Wasn't making as many putts, so it definitely, going into the last 3 holes knowing I had a 6-stroke lead or whatever it was really good for my mental game. Feels amazing. It's been on my golf bucket list forever, so to finally get it done is just the best feeling.
Okay, now to the Red Sox. Sox looking for their 2nd straight series win to start the second half of the season against Oakland Wednesday afternoon. Top first, they start out hot. Justin Turner with a man on, sends this one deep into left center, and it is gone. 15th of the year for him. It's 2-0 Sox. Bottom first, Brian Bayo on the mound. A's Jay Bleday with a man on. He hits a moonshot to deep right field. That one is a home run. Just like that, we are tied. Bottom second, Cody Thomas, a man on, drills a line drive to right center off the scoreboard. 4-2 A's, another home run allowed by Bayo. Then bottom 4, still in, still giving up 2-run bombs. It's Jace Peterson's turn for a homer. Tough go for Bayo in this one. That fan drops his beer, and the Sox drop this one 6-5. Hey, but despite that, the Red Sox are one of the hottest teams in all of baseball heading into Wednesday. They were first in win percentage and batting average, and plus 3rd in ERA in July. And down in Portland, Trevor Story is making a rehab start Thursday. Another great sign. Speaking of which, Sox head of baseball ops Chaim Bloom was at the Sea Dogs Wednesday night game against Hartford, and he says that the Sox run lately simply comes down to the team's best starting to play like it.
It's happened, I think, in large part because of the progress of our core players. Whether that's our young players on the position player side, the pitching side, some of the veteran acquisitions that we've made. You're starting to see that core really come together, and that's the way we want to win because it's something that you can sustain and build on.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for sports. I'm Ryan Sudol. We'll be back right after the break.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
When you've experienced fire and smoke damage in your home, when pipes break and you have water everywhere, when you're concerned about your family's health because of mold, you need a friendly face to take care of it all. You need the friendly faces of Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. We're just a click or call away. Whatever life throws at you, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration is here for you. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories. We'll handle the rest.
If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, contact the law offices of Joe Bornstein to learn about your legal rights. Maine has the highest rate of mesothelioma fatalities in the U.S. You may be eligible to receive compensation if you were exposed to asbestos products while working in a shipyard, mill, factory, or construction site. For a free case evaluation, dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join now through July 19th and save almost $50 during our huge summer sale. We've dropped our enrollment fee from $49 to just $1. Then pay $10 a month. Cancel anytime. That's right. Save almost $50 with this limited time offer and get energized with tons of equipment. Whether you're a newbie or a gym pro, you belong in the judgment-free zone. Don't miss out. Save almost $50 when you join today for $1 down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends July 19th.
ABC 7, Fox 22, Diversified Ink Tattoo Studio, and Mossy Ledge Spirits want to send you to see Godsmack and Stained live in concert Tuesday, July 25th at the Maine Savings Amphitheater in Bangor. Sign up to win tickets by registering at Diversified Ink Tattoo Studio, voted Bangor's best tattoo studio for 11 straight years, or Mossy Ledge Spirits in Etna, home of tastings, tours, cocktail to-go drinks, pizza, minis, and now cans. Win tickets to see Godsmack and Stained July 25th on the Bangor waterfront.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
Pictionary.
This is for the trip to Cincinnati.
Get this.
You did it! You're going to Antigua!
Weekdays at 10 on Fox 22.
Welcome back. The current Powerball jackpot is now up to $1 billion. That's right, you heard that correctly. And people all across the state have been participating, hoping they might just grab that winning ticket. The main Mega Millions is now up to $720 million, with the Mega Bucks jackpot at $2.9 million. But most seem to be hoping to be the lucky winner of that billion-dollar Powerball. Participants say, given the overwhelmingly large jackpot, it's just hard to resist taking a chance.
My very first ever Powerball ticket. How can you not buy a Powerball ticket for $1 billion?
I resisted last week, but just one. All you need is one. Oh, if I won, I got a lot of people I could help. And I live in Lubec, which is a very poor area, and I'd love to do something for the town. I'd love to do something for a lot of people.
Well, drawings for the Powerball are on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, and the Mega Millions are drawn Tuesdays and Fridays. We wish all who are playing the best of luck. Finally tonight, a local jewelry company has been creating handcrafted pieces for several years by using more than 100-year-old copper that's sourced directly from the former iconic dome of the Bangor Public Library. Now a new collaboration is helping them continue to combine local history with art, and our Grace Blanchard got an up-close look.
I sort of developed a reputation in Maine as the copper lady.
Roxanne J. Munsgard is one of the owners of Maine Jewelry and Art, who have taken copper from the old Bangor Library dome to create unique and handcrafted jewelry for several years.
People really enjoy historical, like having a part of history. Some people do, and I'm one of those. And I need to know history, to know where we've come from. And so for me, this is just a very valuable project.
Back in 2014, they started a fundraiser project for the Bangor Public Library Renovation Fund and have since donated around $36,000 to the library from selling their jewelry. However, their project was interrupted when they had to close down their shop in Bangor in 2022.
Ann and I love making jewelry. Keeping our store open was too much work for us.
The Maine Jewelry and Art Shop has had the copper from the library for years and years and years, and they make amazing jewelry. When we heard that they were closing, my wife Jennifer said, we got to go over and we got to take a look at this stuff.
The jewelry can now be found at SK Tours in Bangor, which is known for offering tours highlighting Stephen King's work. And the owners say this collaboration has been very popular with their customers.
We get to talk a bit about the contributions of the Stephen and Tabitha King Foundation, and a lot of it is that library. And our fans are primarily readers. So when we talk about some of their contributions to the city, and we talk about the library, for them to be able to take a piece of that home with them is pretty awesome.
The jewelry can also be purchased online. However, the owners are very happy to be selling their work on store shelves in town again.
So being able to continue to make jewelry as a, quote, retired woman is really special, especially knowing that it's so well loved.
In Bangor, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Just some beautiful artwork with such a very strong connection to our local history. All right, well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your evening.